Hey, this is MJ, and in today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make the Dusty Rose baby hat. The yarn that I'll be using is Starlette worsted weight yarn from Maxim, and there will be a link in the description box on where you can purchase this. And I will be using a 5.5mm crochet hook, and this is a Furl Streamline cookie hook. And to attach your flower, you'll also need a wooden button, and I'm using a 25mm. So this is the 3 to 6 month size, but I'll be showing you how to make the 0 to 3 month size in this tutorial. The PDF pattern includes sizes to 24 month, and it also includes the baby booties as well as a blanket. So to begin, we're going to make a magic ring. So wrap the yarn around your index finger 3 times. Take your hook, sliding it through all 3 loops. Take your first loop, grabbing it and pulling it through, and then we'll chain 2. We'll be working in half double crochet stitches, and we'll begin with 10 half double crochets in the ring. And once you have your 10 half double crochets in the ring, just make sure you push your work out of the way just to see these loops. Take your tail, start to pull it. 1 loop will pull in. You're going to take that, give it a tug, and then take your tail and pull. Now we'll be slip stitching in the first half double crochet to join, but we're going to go in the reverse, and this is just going to make our seam really invisible. So to do that, I want you to keep your yarn to the front here of your stitch. Take your hook, go through the stitch. So we're going back to front. We're just going to pull the yarn now through. Just use the hook to snag it and pull through. Then we'll chain 2. Our chain 2 is not included as a stitch. And now we'll work 2 half double crochets into every stitch around. So we're increasing from 10 to 20 stitches. And again, we'll slip stitch by keeping the yarn to the front of the stitch, going from back to front. Grab the yarn, pull it through, and chain 2. Now we'll work a half double crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next. And this will increase us to 30 stitches, so just complete that all the way around. Okay, so I've worked all the way around. We'll slip stitch to join, chain 2, work a half double crochet in the first stitch, a half double crochet in the next, and then 2 in the next. So our repeat pattern, 1 in each of the next 2, and then 2 in the next. So we'll be increasing another 10 stitches, and we'll be up to 40 stitches in total. Okay, so for our 0 to 3 month size, this is as many increases as we need to do. So 40 stitches is all we need. So we'll now chain 2, and we'll begin our crisscross pattern. So our first stitch will work a double crochet. Then what we'll do is skip the next stitch and do a double crochet into the next stitch. Now we'll go back and do a double crochet into the skip stitch. Skip the next stitch, do a double crochet into the next stitch. Double crochet back into the skip stitch. And we'll just repeat this all the way around. So I've worked that all the way around. Now we're ending with one stitch, so we're going to add a double crochet into that final stitch. Then I will slip stitch in the first double crochet to join, chain 2. Now instead of starting out with one double crochet, I want us to skip the first stitch, do a double crochet into the next, and then a double crochet back into the skip stitch. Skip the next stitch, work a double crochet into the next stitch, a double crochet back into the skip stitch. So now we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So if you look here, you can see that they should be slightly offset, not stacked on top, one on top of the other. Okay, so as you end, you're going to be ending with an even crossover stitch. So this time we don't have those a double crochet at the beginning and a double crochet at the end. So what we'll do now is alternate between those rows so that we continue to have our crossovers offset. I'm just going to slip stitch here to join. Chain 2. And so this time we want to do a double crochet to start. And then we skip a stitch, work a double crochet, and back into the skip stitch. Okay, so we're just going to repeat that. I want you to do a total of 5 of our crisscross rows. So 1, 2, this is the third. So I'll meet you up after I've completed 5. Okay, so I've done a total of 5 rounds with my crisscross pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to finish off by doing a single crochet band. So slip stitch to join, chain 1. And as you can see, you can hardly even see the join doing that little reverse slip stitch. So now we'll just work 1 single crochet in every stitch around. And I'll get you to do a total of 3 rounds with just single crochet stitches. Okay, so I've worked around a total of 3 rounds. Now what we're going to do is fasten off before we join. I'm going to show you how to do a seamless join here. So take your yarn needle, and now what you're going to do is go under both loops of your first stitch, and then you're going to go back through the back loop only of the last stitch. Okay, and that basically will make almost a faux looking stitch, so you can see that there's no join and it's just seamlessly all the way around the hat. So then I just take my yarn needle and you can just weave in that tail. And I'll give that a snip. Okay, so this is just a nice little newborn size hat. I'm going to give it a measure for you just so you can make sure that you're on track. So if we lay it out flat, it is about 6.25. About 6.25 across and about 5.25 to 5.5. So the circumference around will be about 12.5 inches. So most newborns' heads are in that 12 to 13 inch range, so this will be perfect for a little newborn. So next what I'm going to do is show you how to make the flower, and then we'll attach the button. So now to make the flower, we're going to make a chain. So let's make a slip knot, put that on the hook, and now we'll chain 6. Now this you can alter if your button is a little bit larger. So this is going to make our buttonhole. So it will go nicely snug over the 25 mil size. So you can always make your chain larger if you need it, or just customize it to fit the button that you're using. So now we'll slip stitch to the first chain to join our ring. Then we will chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll single crochet into the ring. Chain 2 and single crochet into the ring. And I will do that 3 more times. So chain 2, single crochet, okay, so in total we should have 5 chain 2 spaces made. So 1, and we're going to slip stitch into the first chain of the starting chain 3 to join. So now for our first round of petals, we're going to be working into the chain 2 spaces around. So we're going to go into the space, work a single crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1 and a single crochet. In the next chain 2 space, we'll work a single crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet, chain 1 and a single crochet. Into the next, single crochet, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1 and single crochet. So just finish off your last 2 petals like that. And then we'll slip stitch to the base of that first petal to join. I'm going to chain 1 and turn so that the wrong side is now facing. I'm going to slip stitch to this post, which is right in here. So just go around that and slip stitch. Then I'm going to chain 5. Now around the next post, you'll see between the petals here, I'm going to work a double crochet. So I'm going to insert my hook under, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'll chain 3 and a double crochet around that next post. These stitches here you see attached to the ring. So yarn over, again, go under it, and chain 3. So we're doing that all the way around. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then in the second chain of that starting chain 2, we'll slip stitch to join. Chain 1, and then we'll turn so that we're back to the right side of our work. So now in each of the chain 3 spaces around, we'll work a single crochet, chain 1, and then 5 double crochet. Chain 1 and a single crochet. So there's the petal made. And in the next chain 3 space, we'll work a single crochet, chain 1, work 5 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1 and a single crochet. Okay, so now make each of the petals in that pattern around. And once you've worked all your petals, we'll just slip stitch to that base of the first petal to join. Fasten off, and then I'm just going to weave in my tails. Now what you want to do is make sure when you're weaving the tail around your buttonhole that you don't pull the buttonhole too tight. You want to make sure that it will fit over the button. Now also, if you have a smaller button, this could be your opportunity to tighten it up a little bit. So I just like to weave around that starting chain. And again, you want to make sure it will fit around your button. You don't want to pull the yarn too tight unless you're trying to get it to go around a smaller button. And then just weave back in the opposite direction to secure it. Okay, so now what you want to do is put your flower onto your hat. And I like to keep my petal just so that it's still inside the hat so that it's not down like this. So I keep it about here, and then that helps you kind of determine where you want to sew the button. Okay, so it needs to be about there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my yarn needle. So it's basically on the second row from the bottom, the crisscross stitches. Okay, so then I'm just going to knot this. And you can weave those tails or just give them a trim. Okay, and now your flower should fit right over. It's going to be a little snug getting it over the button, but that's how you want it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel to stay updated on all my new videos and tutorials. Thanks so much, guys. Have an awesome day.